Welcome to the Sideline. I'm Andy Katz. Well, this is going to be a home for a lot of original content in college sports and beyond. Now, of course, you're going to get a lot of that similar content that I produce for NCAA platforms, Big Ten Network, and other places. But I needed a home for a lot of those interviews with the newsmakers in this space. So where are you going to find it? Right here at the Sideline. Let's get to it. And welcome, everyone, to a preseason summer still kind of chat here with Baylor head coach Scott Drew. I'm Andy Katz. And Scott, World University Games, people don't know that this changed, I don't know, I think a couple of cycles ago, where it made sense to take a college team to the World University Games to represent the United States. The curveball here is you can't obviously take your international players to play for the United States, even though they play for Baylor or whatever team, Kansas, Northern Iowa, different schools that have done it. So we put that on the side. You ended up not taking gold, but had a great run before losing to Brazil. So walk me through this, what this was like for you guys, what you got out of it, and knowing that it wasn't your full team.
Yeah. So first and foremost, unbelievable experience. I had no idea it was going to be as cool as it was, and our players exactly the same. So you get there, and the first thing is that opening ceremony, and it is just like what you see on TV at the Olympics. It's just a smaller scale. The arena there, I don't know if it was 30, 35,000, but it was a big time event. And then you have over 100 countries walking out beforehand. And we had several athletes from the U.S. that medaled in the last Olympics that were there. And then you have a lot of future Olympians there. So it might be fencing, it might be table tennis, it might be taekwondo, but you learned a lot. It was so neat for our players, and something that I will never forget. Now, I know that you.
And by the way, I mean, silver. Nothing wrong with winning silver.
No,
and it was an overtime game.
Yeah, but in the U.S. we do gold. So anyway, feel bad about that. But at the same time, I do have some cliff notes for the next team that goes over there, because we've had a lot of success. Nell Hawkins with the Basketball Travelers has brought a team over there.
Nels Hawkinson.
No, Hawkinson. I'm sorry about that. And Nels is the best. But the team aspect has really been beneficial, and they've done really well. The tough thing with nowadays with NIL, and you have so many more people in the transfer portal, you don't have the 2, 3, 4 year experience with teams. So it makes it a little bit harder. And then with so many international players coming over with the NIL, it makes it harder as well. So where do you get your players? The Ivy League. The Ivy League does not practice in the summertime. So the future team that goes over, you want to get 2, 3, 4, whatever players you need from the Ivy League. If we could go back in time, we had probably added 1 or 2 more additional players, because.
Whoa, let me stop you there. So because even though they like you to have a college team, there's no requirement for that. That's what they would like to do. You could add to your Baylor roster. You could have added Ivy League players.
100%. We had one from Yale, and
Samson. Okay.
Yes, Samson was great. But with nowadays so much transition, a lot of Division I schools aren't going to let their players go, because they want to spend that summertime molding their team, getting the chemistry right. But the Ivy League doesn't have summertime workouts. A lot of them do internships. So that's a great league to borrow players for. They have a chance to get a great experience, improve practice. And at the same time, if you have 3, 4, 5 international players, now you can supplement your team, because again, the international game, it's a faster pace with the 24-second shot clock. You don't have the media timeouts. And then also you're playing a lot of games in a short period of time. We played 6 plus 1 exhibition. So it's like 7 games in 11 days. So you need to have more depth. I think that would have given us a better chance to win gold. But unbelievable experience, great team bonding, something our guys remember the rest of their life. Again, Nell's group does it first class. It's amazing. So whichever team represents the U.S. in the future, they'll have a great time, and hopefully they can have a little more depth than we had.
And this took place in Germany. So of your Baylor players that did participate, What did they get out of it?
Well, first of all, they got sore legs because that's a lot of games in a short period of time. And with us, we had a lot of transition from this year to last year. So you got some chemistry. We got a chance to coach guys and see just what they could do in normally you go on these foreign tours and a lot of the competition isn't very good. And 30, 40 point games, you can't really see much or feel just what it's like to be under pressure coaching a team for the first time. But with us, a lot of great teams that, national teams, they practice. So they run offense, defense. So you have to be on point. And with us, we got a chance to see what we had with the guys that went. Now we had four international guys that did not go. And so that obviously, and then one player from Yale being there. But it was a great experience for us to see firsthand what it was like coaching these guys, what they could do, couldn't do.
So specifically, any players that participated that you feel like maybe moved up your ladder, or guys that you could see, okay, here's what I saw, here's what I could see, in the next couple of months?
Well, we basically played 7, 8 guys every game, so all those guys got a ton of minutes, got a lot of experience, got better. Obi, our transfer from Wyoming, was MVP of the tournament, so he had a great tournament. Cam Carr, Dan Skillings were all tournament nominees as well. Both them did a great job, but we played every game virtually 8 guys, so all of them got plenty of minutes. And then the last 2 games, it was more a 7-man rotation. So great experience, and it is a luxury being able to play quality games in the summertime against well-coached teams.
All right, so of the four international players that obviously couldn't play because they're not American, how do you see them fitting into this team with the full roster this fall?
Well, they were able to benefit practicing with our team before we went over there. And then obviously they stayed behind. They had their part of their 8-week workouts, so the 4 hours a week with the basketball and then the strength conditioning for 4 hours. They were able to watch our games. But with that, they were able to just see what we had practiced and worked on. Like, this is what we want offensively, this is what we want defensively. Would have loved to had him go over. Would have loved for them to have that experience. But again, for those that went, truly amazing. Germany did a great job hosting it. And again, for all of us that watch the Olympics, it's such a great experience. But to actually feel it and be there, that's really cool.
So you've had a great track record of producing NBA talent. Obviously, VJ Edgecombe was the last one from this past season. Who fits that characteristic in this next group?
Well, we've been blessed. We've had 5 straight years of a top 19 draft pick, and I think the fourth most drafted in the last 5 years in the country. So a lot of success. I can tell you that you've covered sports a long time. Coaches are a lot better when they have better players. So we've been blessed to have a great staff, great players. This upcoming year, Tunde is somebody that is on a lot of draft boards. As you know, draft boards don't mean anything, but I know he won the slam dunk contest, so he's pretty athletic. He was California's all-time leading scorer, so he can put the ball in the hole, and he's a great defender. He's been a joy to coach this summer. The only downside to him all summer was he wasn't able to go and play with us overseas, but he would be the one on the draft board that's rated the highest. But the great thing is, as you know, during season, the better the team does, the better everybody has a chance to reach their goals and dreams and play at the highest level. We'll have several guys that'll have that opportunity. I'd mentioned 4 players that didn't play with us. I would be remiss to not include, we did have one player, Michael Ratai, that practiced with us, but he played for Germany. So he was over there. He was playing, and he was all tournament over there. He's had a great college career at Oregon State, and somebody that was with the host country. It was great. We scrimmaged them ahead of time, and our guys love them, but we didn't really like them during that 40 minutes we competed against them.
So, since this whole portal stuff began, you've benefited, you've lost. Where do you stand on where it's at right now? Because you've seen both sides of it.
Yeah. I Our program is a program that traditionally hasn't had a lot of people leave. You have a lot of people come, spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they graduate. I think most coaches that have been around a long time, this will be my 23rd year at Baylor, would prefer to coach guys that they have a chance to help grow and develop, and then you see them graduate. And like we last week, I was at Jonathan Chamwachachua's wedding, and to see all the past players and GAs there, coaches there, it was awesome. This week it's Jalen Bridges' wedding. Now he transferred, but he spent 3 years with us. And again, the longer you're with people, it's I mean, I think everyone can relate. It's kind of like dating. You're more invested in somebody if you've dated them for 5 years rather than 1 week. So with that, I think everybody has to adapt, and that's what we've done. We've adapted, and if we get people for 8 months, 9 months, we're going to make it the best 8 or 9 months we can for them. At Baylor, we call it preparing champions for life, spiritual, academic, character formation, and athletic. And it's a blessing for whoever we're able to coach for that year. But if you ask all of us, we'd rather them stay, graduate, or go to the NBA and then graduate from here rather than having a new team every year.
When you won the title in the bubble that year against Gonzaga, I mean, that was the pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
What's your drive been like after you get one? It's incredibly hard to get one. It's, the odds are even smaller to get two, like what Hurley did and what Billy D did at Florida. I mean, that's, it's really only happened last quarter century. The other time was with Coach K in the early 90s. Where's your drive yet to try to get that second?
That's a great question. I can tell you, when you won one thing you really learn is how blessed you were to win that one. And what I mean by that is when you've had talent that when you could have won it and you didn't, you see just everything that has to go right. And I'll give you an example. The year before we won it, we had won 23 in a row, longest win streak in the Big 12. We were going to be a number one seed, and that's when COVID hit. And I personally, I felt like us in Kansas were the two best teams that year in the country. So you could have won it that year, but COVID obviously ended that. The next year you win it. The year after, I'd actually talked to Billy about
Which,
what
by
do
the
you got
way,
to do.
the year you win it, Gonzaga was more the favorite. You know what I mean? So but go ahead.
And the crazy thing about that, in that COVID year, we were supposed to play Gonzaga in Indianapolis. It was, I believe, December 5th. At the time, they're ranked one, we're ranked two, and one of the players got COVID that morning of the game. So we were basically both teams ready to go to the game. The game got canceled in Indianapolis, and
Yes, I
then you
remember that.
a couple months later in Indianapolis, and you get to play the game. But uh, back to this, that year we won it. The next year we were 15-0. And then we had Jonathan Chamwachachua get a season-ending injury. He finished that year Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. And then we had LJ Cryer, a season-ending injury with a foot injury. And then we had lost Langston Love for the season. So you had three season-ending injuries. I really felt like we could have won it that year. But when I talked to Billy, one thing he said, it's amazing how many things have to go right. And what I mean by that is when you have a team that could win it, the fact that nobody gets injured, sick, or ineligible, anything that would take them away, that's really rare nowadays. I mean, you look at it with all the modern technology. I mean, if you have an injury and illness, we find it. And if we do, you're missing games. And at the end of the day, that margin of error for the top teams, you can't have a critical injury. And you see that in the NBA all the time, where a franchise player, a max deal guy goes down, and all of a sudden their chance of winning it that year's done. And so you've got to be blessed to win it all. We were blessed that year. The year prior, the year after, I thought we could have won it. Now, the last couple years, we've lost a 1-1 game lost. I believe us, Houston, and Gonzaga are the only teams since 2019 to win a game or more in the NCAA tournament. But I know once you've won it, you really want to win another. That's for sure.
we're coming up. It's crazy to say this, but this April will be the 5-year anniversary. That was 2021,
Yeah.
correct? In Indy. We're back in Indy with the Final Four. It's crazy to think it's 5 years, but help everyone understand. And I think Dan Gavin, Joanne Scott, they don't get enough credit. It really was remarkable what was pulled off.
Yeah.
It really was amazing to think about what had to go right to get
Yeah.
that tournament in. From your perspective, because you had to be there the longest, you guys in Gonzaga. What was that like to go on that run in the same space
Yeah.
during those couple of weeks?
Well, the irony is Gonzaga and us shared our conference room was our ballroom was right here. Theirs was right next to us. And it, you're right, the NCAA did an amazing job having everything set up so that we could play the NCAA tournament. And my heart still goes out to everybody that year before that those seniors that, I mean, all their life they look forward to that and didn't have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. And such a great opportunity and a lifetime memory for people that participate in it. But I can tell you that it was like a small town. Like when you had all the teams there, it was busy. You had two hotels, you had the practice courts, everything was organized, but you had people around. At the end of the day, when it was just us in Gonzaga, it was like a ghost town. I mean, you had two hotels, you had a big convention center, and there's nobody there. And so that was something different. If anybody ever wants to know the Cliff Notes version, how to be successful in a bubble, Coach Few and I will write a book on that. Hopefully, no one will go through that. But the irony, we started right next to each other, and then we finished. We were the last two teams there together.
What,
We
what
had a
was the
great
hardest?
time.
What was the hardest part of managing the mental aspect
Yeah.
of never leaving the space? Like you went around, you go celebrate. No, you, like go back to campus. None of that happened.
Yeah, I can tell you the one blessing we had was we had a COVID outbreak right before the end of our season. So
I
for
remember that.
2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, we were basically isolated back here at Baylor. So by the time the end of the season came, we were excited to be back around people. Where so when we went into the bubble, it was still that was great. We had team meals, we had team meeting, like that was fun. Where if we didn't have that. I know some teams by the end, they were like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to get out of here. We were like, hey, we're still in the bubble. It was a great experience. So God's timing really worked that out where we were fresh at the end of the year. But because we had a bigger ballroom, because we were the number one seed, we were able to have Connect Four Uno tournaments, do some fun things, had movie night. The guys obviously always got video games. So we had a great time. And you know what? Marriott, we had a whole floor for our team. And for all of us that travel a lot, you get used to that Marriott coffee or whatever. Like we had unlimited coffee. We could change sheets, do whatever we wanted. We had the whole floor, and it was like summer camp for a month or
And
3 weeks, whatever it was.
tell me about the pickleball with you and Few in that group. I mean, because you guys were able to do that, right?
Yeah, we had a secret pickleball match where everybody kept their distance, even in the kitchen. But that was something that we had a lot of coaches make appearances in there. So that was really neat too. I'm not gonna name names. I don't want to get
Hey,
anybody.
it's 5 years ago. No
Have
one's
we
getting in
have we
trouble.
passed the statute of limitations?
Yes,
Okay.
no one's getting in trouble.
All I know is Grant McCaslin definitely had the most floor burns. He was diving all over the place. I know my brother was in there. Jay Wright is a big sleeper. Acts like he doesn't play, but his wife Patty really taught him well. He's got game. Obviously, Coach Few and his staff they play all the time, so they were the ringers in there.
You mentioned Grant. You're now old enough, you've been there long enough that you've got a tree.
Mm.
Um, how much pride does that, does that fill you with when you
Mm.
see the success of your coaching offspring?
Well, I can tell you first and foremost, it's our tree and not my tree because I learned more from those guys that have gone on to be head coaches than they learned from me. And there's a reason we were successful. You always try to bring in people smarter than you. That's easier for me than some coaches. But learned a lot over the years, and to see the success they've had at their programs, from Coach Mills, from Oral Roberts to Wichita State. And in the bubble, it was really cool because remember, Oral Roberts had a great run in there. Coach McCaslin at North Texas beat Purdue in there. So that was really neat. Us three being in there together. I think we all won on the same day. In fact, Coach Mills at Oral Roberts, I forget if they beat Ohio State or Florida, whoever they beat. I was in a huddle talking, and no one's listening, no one's paying attention. Everyone's watching the jumbotron to the end of that game, and I was like, we broke the huddle. I was like, why didn't anyone listen? Coach Tang's like, hey, it's the end of Coach Mills' game. They're about to win. So that was hilarious. But those guys, Coach Driscoll, North Florida, now he's back at Kansas State. Coach Tang, obviously there, Coach McCaslin. So Coach Jacobs had a great first year at FAU. A lot of guys having a lot of success.
This league, I mean, now you and Self, correct me if I'm wrong, are essentially the deans. You've seen it go through some changes. It's gotten better now with the additions. We don't have the true round robin anymore. But Houston comes in, unbelievable what they've done in the last couple of years. And last year, they didn't lose a road game,
Yeah.
which is unheard of. What do you think of the standing right now of the Big 12?
Well, when it was 10 teams, I can tell you that the round robin is it's a true champion. Now, when you have a bigger league, obviously scheduling plays some part of that. And especially with as many people in the portal every year, you don't really know so some of the top teams don't. If you play somebody twice that ended up supposed to be a top three team and they ended up being middle of the pack or the bottom, that definitely favors you. But with the addition of the teams that we brought in, a lot of times when you add teams, you don't add the quality and the tradition that the Big 12 was able to add. And you mentioned Coach Sampson. He's a Big 12 guy. When I first got here and he was at OU and they were loaded. I mean, that's a Big 12 guy. We've learned a lot from him over the years, and I've enjoyed my time when we used to do the Nike trips, learning from him. But a lot of success. Obviously, Tommy did a great job at Gonzaga and what Arizona. I mean, you look at BYU and what they've been able to build in football and basketball. I mean, I can go up and down every team that we've added. At the end of the day, it's a great basketball league. Ken Palm, 8 out of the last 10 years, it's been the number one league. Coach Self and I can tell you that we've been in the Big 12 23 years. Coach Izzo's been in the Big 10 30 years. And leagues come and go, they change. The Big 12's been great for a number of years, and it's only gotten better with the additions.
All right, rapid fire before we get out of here. Coach's challenge that will happen this season. What are your thoughts?
I like it. The one thing that I would, if I could wave a magic wand, we'd get the play right. And what I mean by that, you drive, I hit your arm. So it's a foul on me, but the ball goes off of you. Well, now it's off you. Really get the play right. I fouled you, so it should be your ball. And that would be the only thing I would like, is if you challenge it, just get the play right. I know that's not on the table, but that's my wish.
Quarters or halves? You've experienced both internationally and domestically.
It's a better game in quarters. You have more game-ending situations. Plus, you can be more aggressive at the next quarter without being in the double bonus. Because in FIBA, you shoot two, not one-on-one.
Advance the ball.
Yeah, definitely adds more strategy and allows 1 or 2 seconds or 3 seconds to get a much more quality shot off. And then I'm gonna jump it. I'd go 24 seconds. Everybody else is there. Why aren't we there? That would be big picture.
All right, best piece of coaching advice from your father Homer and your brother Bryce.
Wow. That one's really easy. My dad taught us early on. If you have a great staff and you have great players, you're going to have a great program. So that was easy. My brother, his best advice to me was, if you recruit me, we'll win a lot. And he was right.
All right, Scott. Appreciate you.
Well, thanks for all you do. Thanks for what you do in college basketball. It's been great listening and watching you this summer. Thank you.
Thanks for watching and listening, everyone. And as always, you can follow all our social media content at the Sideline with a K. Our content appears on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube, TikTok, X, and Instagram. Check out all the content at the Sideline with a K.